Hey everyone, welcome back to the workshop. Artisan Pirate here, and in today's fun scroll saw project video, I'm going to be doing a viewer requested project. Now the past few months, a lot of my long-term subscribers have been asking down in the comments of my posted videos for me to cut out my logo. Now my logo appears in the beginning of all of my videos. I have the 4-foot by 4-foot banner hanging over here above the CNC machine, and it's also the sticker that I send out. This is the design that people are wanting me to make. Now I've made this design on the CNC machine before, but since I am primarily known for scroll saw woodworking, they want me to make this on the scroll saw. Now this sticker has a bunch of details. Now I've already enlarged the pattern, printed it out in black and white, and attached it to our material, and it's sitting here below the camera, and you will see that in just a second. So I'm going to have to slightly modify this to do it on the scroll saw, and just keep that in mind because the size that I have enlarged the sticker to is not good for the small, very tedious details for over on scroll saw, and so just keep that in mind. I have taken away the word Burlington, and I've taken out the Instagram and YouTube logos, and we're primarily going to be cutting out the square, the white background, the Jolly Roger skull and crossbones, and my word Artisan Pirate, my name Artisan Pirate, and we're going to drop it down to where the word Burlington is, because as you see in the sticker, the A and the handle of the hammer of the Jolly Roger blend in together, and when I made this on the CNC machine, it was kind of hard to tell where that A was and the hammer handle was, so just keep that in mind throughout everything. But really cool. As I said, I've already got it enlarged to a 2-page pattern, and we're going to cut my name out of just scrap 1/4 inch material. This is the 1/4 inch material I have been using throughout, and we will cut this out, and I'm going to paint it, and I'm going to probably change the colors in some of it just to give it some contrast. We have some 1/2 inch material here for the Jolly Roger skull and crossbone, and there's going to be some floaters in this project, meaning that the eyes, and I don't know if I'm going to be able to save the eyebrows because they're so thin, the nose, those will be cut out completely and then glued back in once everything is painted. But this is 1/2 inch material, and we will cut that out. The backer board we are going to start with first, and we'll move the camera and spray paint this white, and then the border, which is going to be painted black as well, will be cut out, and this is 1/2 inch plywood, and all this except the 1/4 inch material here came out of the scrap bin, so keep that in mind. I really didn't want to use up none of my quality wood that I use to document videos, and I hope you guys can understand that. But since everything is prepared, let's move over and spray paint this white so it can start drying, and then we will head over to the drill press and drill the required pilot holes so we can come back to the scroll saw and start scrolling. And we're going to quickly begin by spray painting the backer board white as is on the logo, and then proceed to the drill press to drill all of the pilot holes for internal cutting. And there is some small tedious cuts on this, especially around the teeth of the Jolly Roger, but once we get over to the scroll saw we will get through them all. And over here on the scroll saw I am using a number 5 Ultra reverse tooth blade for all of the cutting in this project, and keep in mind there's various thicknesses of material in this project. There is 1/4 inch material, 1/2 inch material, and 3/4 inch material, which we're cutting out here, which is the main showcase piece of the Artisan Pirate logo. And again, there are some small tedious cuts on the teeth here, and sometimes it feels like it took me longer to change the blade out than it did to do the actual cut. But as always, I am taking my time and letting the blade do the work. A lot of my longtime followers will know that this logo has been with me for years now. I think around 5 or 6 years now, and it's just become a mainstay. It's on the banner that hangs above the CNC machine. And it's also, of course, my sticker that I send out for sticker swaps. And this is a viewer requested video. A lot of people were wanting me to cut out my own logo, so I am happy to do it and document it here on film. The logo's origins are, I got the logo and then I sent it to my pops for refinement. He's very good with Photoshop and everything, and he asked me what did I want on it, and I said of course my name Artisan Pirate and the Instagram and YouTube logo, just to showcase where I'm most active, and for people that might just see the logo randomly to know where I'm associated with. And the cut we're doing here releases the floaters, which is the eyes and the nose, and we'll set those aside and keep up with them. If you guys like what you're seeing, I would highly encourage you to subscribe to my channel and also follow me under the Artisan Pirate name on all of my social medias. I'd really appreciate the support. And now we are cutting out the 1/4 inch material, which makes up my name. And then going to the 1/2 inch material here, which will be the border. And that middle piece will be set aside for a future project. But then the rest of the cuts will be outside cuts to release pieces from the waste wood. And again, I love having an L-shaped workbench to where I can set small pieces aside. And I'm just doing my best to keep up with all of the pieces. And again, this is a viewer requested project, so there's no official pattern designer. I just enlarged the pattern and converted it to a black and white image and printed it out and went from there. So this is more of a freestyle woodworking project. And now releasing the bulk of the logo. And as you've seen, I am not changing out the blade. The number 5 Ultra Reverse Tooth blade cuts exceptionally well. And once the logo piece is cut out here, the only piece left to cut out will be the final cuts here on the border. And then all of the scroll saw work on this project will be done. And then we can move on to sanding and finishing. And here I get my first look at how the project is going to look. And I almost left everything natural here, but I decided to go on and finish it like the logo itself. And I'm using 180 grit Klingspor sandpaper in the palm sander. And sanding the biggest pieces here. And I will sand the rest of the pieces off camera by hand. And I'll use blue painter's tape here, sticky side up, to apply the letters of my name. And this is just a great way to paint small items without having a fear of them blowing away. I've used this method in the past. And once the letters dry, they will peel off the blue painter's tape, kind of like a post-it note. And then we will paint the logo itself and the border with black spray paint, as is the logo itself. And I come back and gave each piece several coats of paint, and then it was time for assembly after it dried with CA glue and spring clamps and activator. And I let everything dry around 5 minutes before proceeding to the next step. And obviously the border on this is still the white from where we spray painted it. So after it dried, I took it back outside and spray painted that and touched it up there on the sides to have a uniform color all the way around. And after that dried, it was time for the final glue up, and I'm using my actual logo sticker as a guide. And again, just using medium grade CA glue and activator. And thankfully I got to keep up with all of the small letters here. And I lined all of them up, and I kind of eyeballed everything, and I glued them down. And once again set it aside for around 5 minutes to dry. And then took it and gave it several coats of Rust-Oleum clear gloss for protection, and the project was complete.
And here we have the completed Artisan Pirate logo.
cut out completely on the scroll saw, and it finished up nicely. The clear gloss there at the end really makes everything pop and stand out and everything, but really, really cool. I had a lot of fun making this. It took me around an hour to cut everything out. There were some small tedious details, especially in cutting out my name, the teeth, the details in the hammer of the skull and crossbones and all that. But it finished up nicely, and I'll be honest with you guys. I try to be as honest as I can with you when I'm filming these videos. I don't like how this project finished up, and I think that is due to one major issue, and I will address that. But I think the name Artisan Pirate came out great. It exceeded my expectations with how it finished up, and I hope you guys appreciate how I used the blue painter's tape sticky side up on a scrap piece of wood to lock everything in place to where it could be spray painted and not have a fear of the pieces blowing away due to the spray paint. That's always a great tip to use when painting small parts or clear coating small parts like that, and they peel off just like a post-it note, so that's really, really cool. I think the major issue with this project is the thickness of the actual Jolly Roger itself. You can see it stands proud of everything on the project. This is only 1/2 inch material, the border, and this piece is 3/4 inch material, and I think that is the reason I don't like how it came out visually, because you cannot tell the teeth here, some of the details in the hammer, because of the thickness. I think if I would have used 1/4 inch material like I've done for the name Artisan Pirate, everything would have came out a lot better, and you could have seen some of the details better in the teeth and everything. Now, it might show up a lot better on camera than how I'm seeing it here in person. This was a viewer requested project for many, many months, and I'm glad I finally got around to making it for you guys. And this was not a project that I could photocopy out of a Fox Chapel book or go and download in a Steve Good pattern pack and have step-by-step instructions. This was more freestyle woodworking out here today in the workshop by actually just enlarging the sticker, then grayscaling it to black and white, and then printing it out and finding the suited materials that would fit the dimensions I had printed it out. And you guys can see here that it is a rectangle here, basically, instead of a square like the sticker. The sticker is stretched to be a square, same with the banner. It is traditionally a rectangle. It was just stretched to fit the parameters of the sticker and banner, and that is what I fall back on, is that traditional square logo. But the original Artisan Pirate logo did have more of a rectangle look like it does here. Of course, I did not add the Instagram and YouTube play buttons on this project. I didn't feel a need to. And again, that is my only issue with the whole project here, and that is the thickness of the actual skull and crossbones. I was just worried that the details would break out while I was scrolling, and I was fearful of that with the name Artisan Pirate. But after I cut that out, I was like, maybe I should have done this all out of 1/4 inch material as I usually do. But really, really cool. And again, I've made this logo previously on camera, and it was my very first CNC video out here in the workshop once I had learned to program it and put in vectors and all, and that was this project. And I think it came out way better than how the scrolled one came out. Again, I'm primarily known as a scroll saw artist, and this one was done by V-Carving over on the CNC machine, and it hangs on the shop door. And I will leave a link in the description box below where you can go back and view this video just in case you missed it. And anyone that stops by sees it on the shop door, and they always compliment on how nice it came out. I will, as always, put a hanger on the back of this one and hang it on the scroll saw display wall for a conversation piece. But really, really cool. I did have a lot of fun in this video. It took me around an hour and change to scroll out everything. Again, there were some small details. I just took my time and let the blade do the work, and I hope that I have fulfilled the viewer request for making this project exceptionally well into your guys' expectations of what I do out here in the workshop. I had a lot of fun making it, and I hope you guys like watching me make it. Again, the thickness of the material there for the actual skull and crossbone is my only issue with it, and if I could go back in time, I would do it out of the 1/4 inch material. But that is my logo cut out completely on the scroll saw. Once again, that's also my sticker if you guys would like to sticker swap. That's about all for this one. If you're new here, please subscribe to the channel and also follow me over on Instagram at Artisan Pirate. Links to all my social medias as well as ways to contact me will always be linked down in the description box below these videos. That's about all for this one. And remember guys, if I can make it or do it, so can you. I'm the Artisan Pirate. Take care, and I'll see you guys real soon.